In today's lesson, we'll add a game loop asking for more guesses until they guess our word. We'll make it easier to enter guesses, and we'll report how many guesses it took them to guess the word. Along the way, you'll learn how to use a Java string method to convert strings to uppercase. Hi, I'm Annette Gotland. I'm the author of the Do-It-Yourself Java Games books. I teach Java programming through creating games. Welcome to the video version of my books. We're currently in the Text Games video series, TG, the first of 4 types of games series. The focus of this series is to cover the fundamentals of Java programming. You'll learn how, when, and why Java programs are written the way they are. This series has 16 projects. Each project assumes you already have the skills taught in the previous projects. A link to the entire Text Games playlist is provided in the description below. We're currently working on the 14th project, TG14, Word Mastermind. The goal in the Word Mastermind game is to guess a 4-letter word. A clue will contain an O for each correct letter you guessed in the correct position, and an X for each correct letter you guessed in the wrong position, like this. This is lesson TG14.4, where you'll learn to convert strings to uppercase as the user enters their own guesses for your word. Your program now prints the correct clue if the word is quit and the guess is lint. Next, let's allow the user to enter their own guesses until they guess our word. Exercise 1. Guess until success. Pause the video if you need more time in any of these exercises. If you want to see how I would complete any of the listings, please refer to the completed listings at the end of this video. First, change the code to ask the user to guess a word instead of setting guess to lint. Hint: use DIY Windows prompt for string method. Then make a copy of word by putting it into a new string named original word. And create a boolean named solved, initially set to false. Next, repeat these steps while not solved. First, reset word and clue to their original values. Then set clue by calling find right place letters and find wrong place letters. After that, if guess is equal to original word, the puzzle is solved. Otherwise, prompt the user for another guess. Hint: use just the clue as the input prompt. Hint: since you now use clue as the input prompt, you no longer need the statement that said to print the clue. Finally, after the puzzle is solved, congratulate the user. Run it. What happened? It should allow you to keep guessing until you guess the word correctly. Then it should congratulate you. This program doesn't work very well if the user enters a word with more than 4 letters. If their guess isn't 4 letters, we'll want them to guess again. Exercise 2. Require 4 letters. Wrap all the code in the while loop into an if statement that runs only if guess is 4 letters. If the guess isn't 4 letters, ask the user to guess again. Run it. What happened? It should ask you to guess again if you guess any text that is not 4 characters long. This program also doesn't work very well if the word is lowercase and the guess has some uppercase letters. However, Java strings are case sensitive. For example, in Java, quit, all lowercase, isn't equal to quit that starts with a capital Q. You can write your program so input is not case sensitive by changing all user input and the text you plan to compare it with to uppercase. Then the user may enter either uppercase or lowercase. You can use strings toUpperCase method to convert a string to all uppercase. For example, to convert a string named name to uppercase, use name equals name.toUpperCase. Exercise 3. Convert strings to uppercase before comparison. Convert both word and guess to uppercase every place you set it to a new value. Hint: use strings toUpperCase method. Hint: there are 4 locations where you'll need to change a string to uppercase. Run it. What happened? You should get the same clue whether or not your guess has different case letters than our word, quit, which is all lowercase. This program would also be easier to use if you first give the user instructions for how to play. Exercise 4. Provide instructions. Add code to print these instructions at the start of the game. I'm thinking of a 4-letter word. I will give you clues. An O means you guessed the correct letter in the correct position. An X means you guessed the correct letter, but in the wrong position. Hint: Use the escape character for quotes within strings. Run it. What happened? You should see your 4 new lines of instructions plus the original instruction to guess my word printed at the start of the game. Another way to improve this game would be to report how many tries they took to guess the word. Exercise 5. Count the guesses. Declare a new integer named count, initially 1, after their first guess. Increment count by 1 with each next guess. Tell them how many guesses it took them to solve the puzzle. Run it. What happened? After you've guessed the correct word, it should tell you how many guesses you took. Key points and more. toUpperCase. Strings equal method is case sensitive. If the strings you compare don't use the same capitalization for all their letters, equals will return false. Don't require the user to enter a value in uppercase or lowercase. Instead, allow them to enter either. Convert both the input value and the value you compare it against to uppercase. To convert a string to uppercase, use strings toUpperCase method. Here are the completed listings for all the exercises in this video. This is the end of the 4th lesson in the Word Mastermind project. Your program can now run a complete Word Mastermind game based on the text we assigned as the initial value of word. In the next lesson, you'll start each game with a random 4-letter word. You'll read the words from a file, like in other programs, but this time we'll place the words into an array. To do that, you'll need to start with an empty array.